Dude. Then we go ult. 42,000. Jeez, okay. Okay, so somebody recently was saying that maybe I should try a melt Eule with Bennet. I was thinking also maybe Shingling. It could work. I don't know. I was trying it out earlier, and let me just show you what we got so far. So, what I was running before was this. So let me actually switch over to Sucrose. Let's actually just do a review on how Sucrose did. Because Sucrose does swirl, right, which is good. There we go. Ah, damn you. 39,000. Okay, I think you kind of get the idea, though. He's blocking because he's a bastard, but whatever. I think you kind of get the idea of what was going on there. We were kind of getting like 20. We got 30. We got 20s, though. We're getting 20s. So actually, it is better, I think, with Bennet. Because I was trying out with earlier. You do get higher numbers with Bennet. First of all, the obvious advantage we already have with using Bennet instead of Sucrose is that Bennet is going to be a healer, right? He's going to heal us, and Sucrose obviously can't do that. Sucrose can swirl, but honestly, and the fact that she holds Throwing Tails does not overpower Bennet. Bennet is still really strong. So, let me actually get some energy real quick. Alright, this time around we're using Bennet instead of Sucrose. Let's see how that works. Oh, we didn't crit. Nice. I love it when you don't crit. Charge it up. Again. Alright, then we could, actually, let's put Chungus as soon as he's freaking done wasting time. Then we'll put you. Dang, dude. Alright. Now we're ready for the last part. Dude. Then we go ult. 42,000. Jeez, okay. Alright. There we go. There we go. That wasn't so bad, actually. So, Bennet definitely helps you do more damage. And, I was trying to go pretty fast there. I think if you weren't in such a hurry, though, he shines a bit more. And the energy recharge isn't so bad. So I think, is it a good reason to use Bennet over Sucrose? Yeah, actually I think so. I don't think he's going to work well, though. We didn't really get any melts there. And what I realized is, well, we can actually try it. Like, you could try to get a melt by... The good thing is, here, let me show you something. Eule is interesting, right? Her burst, you're not actually ever going to use this, but you might think you should use it because that skill damage is a 442% scaling, right? Which is pretty high. But actually, the reason I don't like using this is because it's just so stupid long, right? That's what I think most people might consider using for a melt. But it's just like, you end up using it, and I think that really hurts. Well, you could use it, but you're not gonna, what it's end up gonna happening is anytime you're generating particles, you're not gonna give any to Shenhe. And even though Shenhe doesn't really seem to struggle that much with energy, right? Because I have her at about what? I think you want her to have her a bit higher, around 160 or more, and I'm trying to work on that right now. But with this team, it's actually not that bad. Since Chongyun, you're not really gonna... I mean, you could use his ult, but you don't really need to. I guess you would more focus on, like, Eule doing the attacks. And so you have Chongyun, basically, and Eule helping Shenhe. But if you're using your Eule's ult, obviously she's going to start using those particles. So it's not really that useful to use. But what's good is that if you look at her talents, I don't even have this second skill uh, as high as my. Actually, what if I upgrade this? What'll it change it to? The hold, yeah. So I'm pretty sure if you leveled your E all the way to the same level as your ult, you'll be doing the same amount of damage with your hold E, right? Which is actually that's where I got that 42,000 damage because your hold E right now for me it scales 393, right? Which is almost as high. I'm pretty sure it gets just as high because if you look, it's gonna up. If I get it to 9, it'll go to 418, and I'm sure it'll probably after that go to like it'll probably be like 430 at least or 440. So it'll be just about as good as using your ult. So there's no reason to use your ult, but there is a good reason to use your E, and potentially your press E is also pretty good too. But maybe just your ult E. But you could get a melt with that, right? You could get a melt with your hold E potentially if you put down. Well, you basically would have to be like, you put down Bennet's ult, go to Chongyun, go to Shenhe, go back to Bennet to apply Pyro, and then use Eule's Holdy. The problem with this is I'm pretty sure this guy's going to still have Pyro by the time you get back to... I mean, he's still going to have Cryo by the time you get back to Bennet, and he's just going to melt. He's just going to take the melt, and then you're not going to be able to melt with Eule because obviously both the effects will be gone. We can try that real quick though. So let's see. So let me actually go get some particles. Okay, so this is what we're gonna try. We're gonna try his ult, and then at the very end, we're just gonna go right before we get back to Eule. We'll go back to Bennet to get him on Pyro. So we go here, 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 here. Yeah. See, exactly what I thought would happen happened. Right. Let's just finish this guy off. I went the wrong order there, but that's okay. Alright, not bad though. Actually, in that round, that was pretty good. We got a 41-second time, which is pretty incomparable. The nice thing too is even though you're not using Eule's, you're not really caring about Eule's physical damage. The fact of the matter is, just even without having artifacts or that support that physical side of her, she still does a good amount of physical damage, right? With her E. You'll never be using your Q, but you could occasionally get the E, the double E physical, explosion thing. But yeah, Bennet trying to melt doesn't really seem to work so well. Simply because he's still on cryo. What you could do, right? This is an idea. You could obviously go Chongyun first, Shenhe, then put Bennet. He'll be able to apply Pyro, and then you do Eule. We'll try this, but there's a reason why I don't like this. There we go. Okay, 70,000, yeah. That did it. It did do it. Then we go back to Chongyun. Then we go Yu. Then we go here. We'll just charge everybody up. Maybe charge everybody up again. Okay, he's going to do his dumb little twirly thing. Then we're going to go to him. Then we're going to go to you. Then we're going to go to you. Then we're going to go to you. Ah, oh, okay, 70,000 still. Nice. Okay. And we're just going to move out of the way. And then finish him off. Nice, like. Okay, so, yeah. It does work. You can definitely get that, and you get 70k out of it. But there is one problem, right? And that's that the you're losing attack actually in a different place, and you're actually wondering why didn't, because I did actually typically I would get like a 30, I would get like a 30, no sorry, I would get like 40k on the hold E, right? And so why am I not getting 80 this time? Well, very simply because I'm not putting Shenhe on Bennet's Q, right? Let's actually go and look at that real quick. Okay. So Shenhe, without any buffs, is going to be putting you at 4,000 damage, right? At least that's how I have it, right? And this can actually be a lot less if you don't have Calamity Queller, right? Right? This could be a lot. This could be as much as 600 less, because this Calamity Queller has like a really high base attack, right? And even so, even though I have like already a really high base attack, Bennet, when I put her on Bennet, dude, it adds almost 1,000, basically 900 attack, which is really good. That's what's giving us that 40k on that hold E without any melt, right? Just a crit cryo hit, right? And so you could put Bennet. You could put Bennet at the end to enforce that melt with Eule. However, it just doesn't really work because obviously, you know. Well, the biggest thing is you're going to lose a lot of damage. I think on from getting from Shenhe, because that's like you get 900 here, you get 900 on Shenhe, right? And then you get another 900 for Eule, right? If we go to Eule real quick, then we oops. Then we go to Eule. Eule is going to get a big boost too. Yeah. Yeah, so you're gonna lose this buff, right? When you switch to Eule, you immediately want to go from Shenhe to Eule, because then after obviously Bennet being the very beginning, because then you get that huge buff from Bennet also added on Shenhe. So yeah, you could get the melt, but I just don't think it's worth it with Bennet. Simply because it's gonna be you're losing a lot of attack on the other autos that you're doing. Especially you're losing a lot of attack that you could have gotten to Shenhe. I seen somebody use, if I can find her, I've seen somebody use Shengling for the first one, and then Bennet for the second one, right? So you're basically running a team like this. The problem with this team, in my opinion, Shenhe's never going to get her burst back. It's going to take forever. And Shengling will get hers up. But the problem is you don't have any like cryo, you don't have that cryo effect infusion from Chongyun. And yeah, you can get like, I've seen somebody get like 100,000 damage with a melt this way. However, you're only going to get that one time, and then good luck trying to save up your ults again, right? You can only do that so many times, and this is like not a very energy efficient team. So, I think when we're talking, like, a Shenhe Eule team, a Cryo Eule team that actually is viable, right? Because I don't like talking. Just like you could do this on a screenshot. I want to talk viable because I think it's like that's what's more interesting to me, anyways. If you're talking viable, I think you got to have Chongyun, of course. That's just a must for Eule. Because you're missing out on all those auto attacks, and Eule does a lot on those auto attacks. So if we switch back to Chongyun, and then we have Bennet. Bennet works still really well here, I think, because he buffs Shenhe a lot, which helps buff Eule basically 2 times almost. You could think about it that way. Buffs Eule 2 times, and not only to mention that Chongyun can also be another sub DPS here, right? He can do a lot of damage himself. You could use his ult, right, with Shenhe, and he'll do a lot of damage. I don't even have Chongyun built, but even on his ult, I could get around 4,000 damage 3 times. So it's 3 hits, so about 12,000 damage on his ult. When he's literally rocking, what is he rocking? He's rocking like a sacrificial sword that's 60'd, and he's level 20. And all of his talents are level 1, besides his 4th one, I guess his 4th one's level 4, but that could even go higher, right? So, in conclusion, can you do a melt Eule? You could, theoretically. But it's not going to be very efficient at all, I don't think, no. and I just don't think it's worth it. However, a Bennet team with Eule is really good. I really like that actually. I think you can keep it up quite a bit, and it actually surprisingly well. I took down this guy. I think I used about, you kind of switch between doing a burst cycle and then you're doing just a skill cycles, but it does work, and you can take this guy down in about 40 seconds. So I do think it works. It's just yeah, I wouldn't bother with him though. At the end of the day, this is all stupid. Your Eula should be physical, but I just find it. I just think it's cool to build. That there's other viable ways to build characters, especially when there are ways that like you would think you shouldn't. Like, why in the world would you ever build them like that? I think the thing that works well with this team that I've seen other teams with Cryo Eula, and they can do like interesting stuff. They can do really big numbers, but a lot of the time they have like really hard downtime simply because the energy cost of the members is too high, right? Especially if you have Eula and Shenhe, that's like double kind of a double whammy. You have two cryo members that don't generate particularly a lot of particles, and you're trying to charge up their ults. So yeah, I think this is it's an interesting team. I think it works pretty solid. I'm very surprised you can pull off 40,000 damage at certain points. The nice thing too is that like even though Eula, the really good thing I like about this is that Eula's autos hit hard enough and slow enough. Well, even though they're slow, they hit really hard, which is nice because you never feel like you're running out of stacks on Shenhe, right? You hit 7 times, and 7 times for Eula is pretty slow in comparison to a sword user like a Yaka. And so by the time you've hit those 7, you're ready to go back to Bennet, maybe recharge on Bennet, go back to Chongyun, and then hit Shenhe again, right? And then start doing your autos again. And so it's pretty dang comfortable cycle. There is a little downtime, but I think that could really be fixed with just better overall, just getting used to the team, honestly, and having some more energy recharge on these characters. So like Chongyun, obviously for me, isn't built at all, and Shenhe needs more time. But I think it works pretty well. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I'll see you in the next one. Like and subscribe means a lot, and see ya. Bye.